Hi everyone and welcome to my craft room. My name's Julianne Richards and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from southern Tasmania. Just forgive me for a minute while I check my sound. Yep, seems to be working okay. I'll turn that down. I don't want to listen to that voice. I don't know how you guys do, but anyway, thank you for doing so. Everyone who's watching live and everyone who's going to watch on the replay later. I really appreciate your company. Okay, so today I'm doing something a little bit more fun. We've been doing some very serious cards the last few days, sort of very worthy. Today we're going for a little bit more of a novel theme, probably something that would appeal to the younger members of our families, with these cute little guys from the Freeze and Fun stamp set and dies. So the dies are the Freezing Friends dies, so together in a bundle. So I'm going to be doing a card with these little guys in some fairly traditional colours, shaded spruce, cherry cobbler, some blacks and some greys as well. So just a real fun little card here. I have substituted, or will substitute out the sentiment, mostly because all the sentiments here are about being cold and snowy and things like that. And as my Australian viewers will know, usually by Christmas parts of Australia are definitely not cold. They are definitely sometimes in heat wave. Although here in Tassie, in Hobart, and some of my older Hobart friends will remember that we have actually had snow in Hobart at Christmas time. So anyway, probably only appropriate here at the south, in the south of the state. But anyway, so the guy, that doesn't take away from the fact that these guys are mega cute and will appeal to lots of people. Thanks everyone who's starting to sign on. It's great to hear you all, to see you all. Who have we got? Susan. Thank you, Susan. Susan's been here every morning for the last week. And Sally and Ilona and Delani. Thank you, guys. Haven't got my glasses on, so the names are a bit blurry, so forgive me if I've said those wrong. Anyways, today I haven't got a prototype to show you because I've made this one up in my head somewhat, but we will get to the bits and bobs. I'll show you basically the card base and the basis of that, and then we'll have a look at our little creatures, our little friends as well. Okay, so my card base is in shaded spruce cardstock. Normal card base, you guys are going to get sick of me here saying this, 8 1/4 by 5 3/4, scored in the middle. So that's my basic card base. I've got a panel of Whisper White that is 1/8 of an inch smaller for inside, and I've got another panel of shaded spruce that's 1/8 of an inch smaller for the front. And that one I've popped through, I think, up there with my favourite embossing folders. I've used the Tasteful Textures embossing folder on that one, just to give it that really nice sort of summer or winter jumper, sort of snow sort of look. I've seen it used for many things, so I really think that's a great versatile embossing folder. So I've already done that for you. I then have a panel of the totally, I've got to remember, Plaid Tidings Designer Series paper. This is a really nice one with the colours that we've chosen, the cherry cobbler and the shaded spruce, and a tiny touch of the sort of the yellow in there as well, which I think is Mango Melody. So you've got lots and lots of colour combinations in that one to choose from. Please note, if you order it, it is a 6x6 cardstock, not 12x12. I've had a lady talk to me the other day about how she thought she was ordering the larger size, but this is a smaller one. You get the same amount of paper, it's just that it's cut into 4 pieces. So I've got a piece of that. I then have, and I'll tell you the size of that one, I can't remember. Get my ruler out. My dear friend Elizabeth's going to buy me a new ruler because she can't stand this one, but it has a long history. Came home with one of the kids from primary school, so I've had this ruler for a long time. So it's 4 5/8 long and 3 inches wide. And that's just going to sit smack bang in the middle there like that. just in the middle of our shaded spruce panel. Then I've got another panel of shaded spruce, and it hasn't been through the embossing folder this time. It's I'll give you the measurements of that as well. I might put the measurements in the comments as well, so don't worry too much. This one is 3 3/4 by 3. That's going to go horizontally that way. And then this is again Whisper White, and this one I have put through the embossing folder, and it fits 1/8 of an inch smaller than that one. So that's going to sit at the front there like that, as a sort of horizontal panel there. And this is the part I'm going to decorate with our cute little friends. Okay, so I might as well make that up already. Just get that part of it out of the way. Just grab some glue. That one hasn't been opened. It's not like me to have unopened glue. It usually all gets opened. So I'm going to put this textured textiles embossed panel on first. It's a bit hard in this light to see the green on green to make sure I get it straight, but that's pretty good. And then I'm going to pop the designer series paper straight on top of that with some glue. There we go. That one stands out a little bit better, just. So we've got that one there. I'm going to pop this one. It's threatening to run away, so I'm going to pop that in now too. I can stamp it inside shortly. Just pop that one in also. Hey Roz, thanks for joining me. It's been a while. I saw you over on Michelle's video the other day. It was a beautiful card she made, but thank you for joining me today. Who else have I got? Jan and Margaret, and yeah, my Australian friends as well. It's lovely. Okay, so that's the basis there. So then what I'm going to do is add the white panel to the plain shaded spruce panel. And I might not attach that just yet. I'm still waiting to see whether I'm inspired to put it up on dimensionals, but it will eventually go sort of central there. On dimensionals or not, I'm not quite sure yet. We'll see how the rest of it goes. Okay, so now let's get on with our little friends. As you can probably see when I first opened up, I do have got them already done, but I will stamp them again just so you can see the images. I think it's they're nice and clear when you see them in black and white. So first of all, I've got our cute little penguin friend here who's jumping for joy. There, so I'm going to stamp him in black ink on Whisper White. There we are. Just give him a wipe off. Then I've got this cute little seal, walrus, sort of some sort of aquatic mammal here. So I'm going to give him a bit of a stamp, same thing in black ink. Then there are 2 Christmas trees in the set. There's a big one and a little one, so this is the larger of the 2 and heavily laden with snow. There we go. And the smaller one here, I've got a smaller Christmas tree plus an iceberg and 3 snowballs on this one. I've got them on the same block. Just stamp those. And here a little pile of 6 snowballs in a pile there, waiting for mischief. Okay, so that's all the images I'm going to use. And I'm going to colour them with blends. So I'll just show you a couple of the blends that I use and a couple of the tricks with the blends, just to show you why they are called blends. Okay, so with the pine trees, I'm starting with dark shaded spruce, and if you imagine this pine tree in reality, it would have shadows or darker shadows up under here where the snow has piled up. So you can imagine that you would have shadows sort of following the line of that snow, or the darker part. And then the rest of the tree that's out of the shadow with the light shaded spruce would be a little bit lighter. So you just go over that with the light, and then with very small little circles, or at least I use little circles, little circular motions, just blend the two into each other. And it doesn't take a lot. Yes, Roz, I love it. I haven't used it as much as I possibly should. There's just so much around at the moment. Obviously there's a lot of new products. It seems to be that you know, you put them aside and you forget what great products you have. Maybe I should buy less and do more. But nah, that's not going to happen. The buy less isn't going to happen. Okay, so just merging the light and the dark. And that's a really good thing with blends, that you have a light and dark version of it in the one pack, and they are just so easy to blend. I'll just bring that one a little bit closer to the camera so hopefully you can see the effect that I've got there with the light and the dark in the shadows. Okay, so I will also do that with the smaller of the two pine trees. We're just a little bit more delicate, and we'll do these other little guys as well. So the paper has the beautiful cherry cobbler, so I'm going to pop the cherry cobbler. I'm going to pop the cherry cobbler as a highlight colour in these little guys' woolly attire. So I'm just bringing this as the dark cherry cobbler into his hat, and then for something a little bit more neutral, I've got the dark smoky slate. I'm going to just finish that off. Who's there? Hi Tonya, thanks for joining me. How is it in Brisbane today? Darn sight warmer than Tassie, I can imagine. And just on with the light smoky slate, I'm just going to give this little guy a tiny shadow just up under his belly. There. Just sort of imagining that that's where the shadows would lie. Awesome. Okay, what else is there? The penguin. The penguin obviously will have to have, I'm going to use the light cherry cobbler for his, keep opening the wrong end, the light cherry cobbler for his hat and scarf. I'm going to then bring in my black for his feathers, not his tummy ones, but his flippers, his hand flippers, I don't know, whatever you call it, and his back feathers. That's oh, that sounds lovely. I could live with 25. Couldn't do much more than 25. I've been living in Tassie for too long. 25 is a heat wave here. Oh well. Actually these days it's not with warming. It's getting quite warm, but 25 is pleasant. Instead of 2 days of summer, we're now getting 3 or 4 days of summer. It's quite nice. Practically balmy. Okay, so that's his hat, his scarf. Going to bring in the light mango melody for his little beak and his flippers. And then black. I won't bother doing the black. The black obviously on his flippers and his fur, his feathers on his back. Then what I'm going to do just for these other icy things, I've got the light shaded smoky slate again. I'm just going to highlight sort of one surface of those snowballs where the stamp already has some sort of shading. I'm just accentuating that with a little bit of smoky slate, and the same on this little iceberg. And then what I'm going to do is bring in my Wink of Stella, which is an absolutely, oh, forgive the top of my head there. I didn't realise my head was getting in the way, apologies there. Yeah, I'm bringing in my Wink of Stella, and I'm going to just wink, sort of sparkle, bring a sparkle into the snowy, icy elements of the pictures. You might not be able to see this until I hold it up, but it is a lovely, subtle sparkle. I have to be careful. One of my Wink of Stellas has a habit of oozing out all over the place. And I haven't had the heart to throw it out. I just sort of keep it for me and not bring it out for classes because I know its tricks. I'm not sure whether this is it or not. So if it oozes out all over the place, you'll know it is the tricky one. Yeah. And I'll just do the same to these little snowballs as well, and hopefully you can see a slight sparkle there. And the good thing with the Wink of Stella is that it actually it picks up some of the ink as well, and it's actually sort of you know, made those look a bit more realistic. Those but you do have to clean it off after, or else you end up with transferring to the next colour. Okay, so if I lift those up, hopefully if I get the light right, and I'll have a look myself and see, you can see that there's a subtle little shimmer. Maybe you can't, not quite sure, but anyway, trust me, it's there. And if you've used Wink of Stella yourself, you'll know that it's definitely there. Cool. Okay, so all of these now, once they're coloured, I'll pop them through the my die cutting machine with the dies, and you'd get something like this. So here I have them all here. Here's our little guys, our trees, our snowballs, and our iceberg. Okay, so I have also cut, and you probably saw that already, a little stitched oval. So this is from the Stitched Shapes. As I say, I'm not using any of the sentiments from the actual stamp set because they're a bit Northern Hemisphere. I'm actually using the Happy Holidays from the Poinsettia Petals stamp set. You could use the Merry Christmas or something like that, but it's up to you. But I've got the Happy Holidays one happening here. Okay, so I've got that and have done that already. Okay, so let's start decorating. So we'll bring this little panel back. I still haven't worked out whether I'm gonna put it on dimensionals or not. Let's have a think. Okay, so let's sort of position these. The image of that little guy being sort of down there and slightly off the page, with this Christmas tree above him, and then our little walrus dude up here on his ice block, on his iceberg, like that. And then sort of piles of snowballs around the place, with some snowballs being used as ammunition around. And a little tree. Well, I'll put the tree, and I was thinking that holidays go there. And our little tree, maybe up there. How's that? I haven't glued it down yet, but that looks pretty good. What do you think? Good morning, Margaret. Thank you for joining me. And Laura and Jennifer. Thanks for coming along this morning. Okay, yeah, so I think I'm pretty happy with that configuration, so I'll start gluing them down. So I'm going to use dimensionals for some of these, but the background ones I'm going to glue down. Excuse me, I've got an itchy eye. Okay, so he's going to go on dimensionals. So it looks like he's jumping out at you. He's going to go on dimensionals. I think the rest I can glue down. So let's start. And the trouble is you have it perfect, and then I know very well that I'm going to move them when it comes to actually gluing them down. That's why it's good to have a prototype, but I haven't today. I'm enjoying my 12 days challenge, but it is quite a time-consuming thing if you actually are, you're doing the designing and then doing a prototype and then and then doing the video. It takes a fair bit of time, and I've got lots of other preparations to do at the moment for my classes. I've got some Christmas classes coming up, and some online classes, obviously, some classes by mail. If you're interested in any of those, of course, pop over to my, to the post on my Facebook page, and all the details are there. So there's our things there. I'm going to pop that on dimensionals as well. I think that's right. I seem to have a bit more room than I had before. We'll see. We'll see how close I got it. Okay, so dimensionals for our little seal dude. Just pop it on one. No need to go mad. And pop him up there. And our little penguin. I might give him two. He's quite long. Eek. And I'll bring it closer in a minute. Got my camera as close as I think I can. Oh, no. Got my camera as close as I think I can get away with, but obviously some of the details are a little bit fine. Now, some little dimensionals for these snowballs, so they look like they've been just thrown right at this very moment. It'll be a bit fiddly. So I'm going to have that there, so I probably want a snowball down here. Yeah, I've moved things, haven't I? Because they're not quite the same as where I put them before. Anyway, doesn't matter. Eek, come on. Someone remind me not to cut my fingernails just before I'm going to be doing videos. I have no fingernails to get these dimensional backs off. There we go. Apologies for the silence. This last one, just pop him. That's going to be there. So I'll just pop him over here. There we go. And the last couple on the back of our sentiment. Actually, I might do that last because I need to know how much I can overlap it and not go off the edge of my card, so I'll get that ready there. Okay, so decision time. Do I put that up on dimensionals as well? No, I don't think so. I think there's enough pop with those little creatures on dimensionals, so I'm just going to glue that. I may regret it as soon as I do it, but what the hey. Okay, so just as central as I can. There's not a lot of room either side, but you do see the paper top and bottom, which is nice. Okay, so that's there. Now I'll bring this in, and I can see how far over the edge I can go, if at all. There we are. Okay, so how's that? We like that one? I think they're quite cute, aren't they? Lots of character, lots of smiley faces and character there. I think that's quite lovely. Anyway, cool. So that's a little bit different to the serious austere stuff I've been doing. It's really nice. Okay, so inside, I hadn't got as far as inside, so this is where we think about what we're going to pop inside. There are some little characters that I didn't use, so maybe I can put one of those in. So there's our little a little raccoon on his sled, and a little rabbit, skiing rabbit. So I might pop the little raccoon there. He's quite cute. Grab a block. I'm not going to colour him in, I'm just going to leave him black and white. I just have him zooming off the page, off the card on the right hand side. There we are, that's quite cute. And I thought I would bring in another sentiment from the poinsettia petals, and I like this one. Where was it? Warm wishes from our home to yours. I think that's really nice. So it does mention warm, which is sort of like the theme of our snowy friends on the front, but it's not sort of referring to winter or snow or anything. So it's sort of, yeah, can be appropriate. I haven't got all my blocks are blocked up. Let's do this one. Warm wishes from my home to our home to yours. And again, just in black. And pop him. I'll pop that down here so it looks like it's coming off the end of his sled. Here we go. Okay, put that back before I forget which stamp set it came out of. As I said, that is the Poinsettia Petals stamp set. I've got those sentiments out of. Okay, so I think that's probably enough. You don't want to overdo these things. So I don't know if you can see the sparkle. You might see it a little bit better on this version of it. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, it's definitely there, trust me. I don't know, does it need any bling? No, I might just leave it blingless at the moment. I think that's quite cute, so we don't want to overdo it. I tend to do these things to death and then they get too much and I regret it. So I might just leave him as that. So there we are. That's our card for today. That's day 7, over halfway, so only 5 days to go. It's going to be a bit of a surprise to me what we end up doing for the last 5 days, because I've only got 2 other projects actually planned. So I have to plan three on the run. So yeah, so 12 days seems like a long time when you start it, but it sort of goes really quickly. Anyway, so if you have any questions about these products or the this particular project, please drop me a message. If you'd like to buy anything or join my team, the Chatty Stampers, you're more than welcome. It's a lovely little group of crafters, and we support each other and give each other ideas, and we have group swaps. And as a bonus, I actually provide the instructions for my monthly classes to my little group free of charge. So if that sort of helps sweeten the deal, if you've been thinking about joining up as a hobby crafter, then that's an added bonus of being a Chatty Stamper. So anyway, just leave you with those thoughts. This is our card for today. I think I could have done with some gold, actually, now I think about it. Anyway, don't second guess yourself, Julianne. Thanks very much for joining me, and I will see you all again about this time tomorrow for day 8. Okay, thanks guys.